Hey guys, it's Jenny from Southern Savers. It is Monday night and we are back at weekly Q&As. Welcome to 2026. And really for a lot of us, right, welcome to maybe some new goals, new leaves. We're going to try to save some more money this year. Try to get some things under control in your budget. The best place to start is groceries. So kind of going back to square one here. I know that we cover how to save on groceries quite a bit. So for those of you who join me a lot of Monday nights, this may be old information, but I also know that some of you are also experts too. So I would love for you to chime in as we're going through and help other people out. How do you find the best ways to cut your grocery budget? Are there some things that you do around the house? Are there things that you do in your meal planning? Whatever it might be, we all have different tricks that we have started through the years, right, to try to lower our grocery budget. So what I want to start with, though, is the basics of saving money in the grocery store, because this is where I feel like the whole world is getting it wrong. And I really wish that I could take every single person and put them in my car and take them to an actual grocery store with me, but I can't. I even am trying to convince friends that they need to change. So later in 2025, we started sharing weekly comparisons between Publix and Aldi, weekly comparisons between Publix and Walmart. I did that twice. Then we got into some holiday ads and I decided to step back while we were in holiday ad mode. Don't worry, we're gonna jump back into those comparisons as we get back into normal weekly ads. But I do want to walk through what I mean by how to shop in a grocery store, because everybody will say, yeah, Publix BOGOs. I go to Publix and I grab the BOGOs and then I go to Walmart and I get everything else. That's a great in theory kind of comment, but you're missing half of the game. And that's what I want you to think about. So as you're trying to cut your grocery budget, let's make it a game, because we all like to gamify something, right? But this is a huge way to have a really big impact on your weekly budget, week in and week out. So step one is, yes, I want to pick a grocery store that is near me and I want to shop their sales and I want to buy the items that are at the best price in that store. So if you've got a Publix nearby, I'm a Publix girl. I think a piece of it is that I was born and raised in Florida, and so that's all I've ever known. But Kroger, Food Lion, our other grocery stores do run sales, and our goal is to shop those sales. Why? Because they automatically beat the regular price at Walmart and at Aldi. And that is really hard for some folks to realize, but it is very true. So I'm going to give you one example. Right now, this is on sale this week in Publix. So we can head into Publix so we can buy Activia yogurt. It is buy one, get one at $3.45. Now, in some areas, you're gonna need to buy both of those. It is a true buy one, get one area that is usually just limited to a majority of Florida, not all of Florida. I've had some Florida people yell at me like, okay, things have changed, but it used to be like state line and even some of Georgia. You have to buy both. No one else does, though. If I go into Publix in South Carolina where I live, I can buy just one. These will ring up half price, which is, in case you need some easy math, $1.72. That's how much I'm going to pay for that 4-pack of Activia yogurt, $1.72. Now, to give you the comparison here, to pull up, I can pull the same product up on Walmart site, and let's make sure we're comparing apples to apples. The best price I can get for this on Walmart, $2.98. It does have a Walmart cash offer of 40 cents back, so gonna get it down to $2.58, and that's gonna be a one-time coupon on that, $2.58. That's compared to that Publix $1.72. That's one product out of, sometimes there's over 120 buy one, get one deals in Publix. So when we've started to compare these Publix versus Walmart comparisons on these BOGO items, we're talking every single item beats the Walmart price on that item. Every single item. I'm not making this up, guys. And if I wanted to compare this to a house brand, most of these buy one, get one prices beat that Walmart house brand as well. So this is the hardest one. I've been saying it for years. Walmart came out strong with their slogan. I mean, we were like the generation that went to Walmart for fun because it was this new concept. Always low prices really just means nothing is on sale, but you can buy it if you want to. And that is where I need you to realize nothing is on sale in this store. I could go to a grocery store and actually buy this on sale. That's our goal. That's our game. That's how I want you to look at it. So to gamify this in a sense, our goal would be, and I know I'm using a random example here, I just picked one thing from, and I did pick it, is in this week's weekly ad. So we've got it, buy one, get one right there. It's a whole bunch of Activia products, buy one, get one. So I picked one thing to give us an idea here. But our goal would be to go in and buy enough of what is buy one, get one that we will use. There are 120 BOGOs. You don't need them all. Buy enough of what you will use to get you through until it is back on sale again. So here's the other piece of that puzzle. When it is buy one, get one this week, it will not be buy one, get one again for 6 more weeks. So if that's your favorite yogurt, odds are you're okay with a few different kinds of yogurt. You get the idea though. If I had something that I was not willing to switch a brand on and I needed this every day of my life, then I'm gonna need enough to last me 6 weeks. Now, most of us, we've got a lot of flexibility. You're not eating the same bowl of cereal every day for 6 weeks. We're cool with a different brand or a different type every now and then. So we're gonna go in this week, we're gonna buy 6 weeks worth of what is on sale that we have to have. We're gonna buy a couple to get us through maybe till another sale on another brand of things that we enjoy. Next week, we're gonna repeat. So we get a whole different sale next week to give you some ideas. So this is next week's ad, not that you saw it here. It's actually already up on Southern Savers, by the way. So if you use the list that is on Southern Savers, just to pop over here for a second, I show you every single week, everything that is buy one, get one in the store. You can actually make a shopping list and head to the store. But I also, come Saturday afternoons, get next week's ad up as well. So if you're ever like, I don't know, do I buy it this week? Do I wait till next week? Guys, it is right there. I can click on that and immediately start to shop or get an idea of what is going to be buy one, get one next week. I cannot tell you how many times I do this myself. My kids will be like, hey mama, I really want some gum. Well, hold on, let me see. It's not on sale this week, but turns out your favorite gum is gonna be buy one, get one next week. So, use it in any way that you need it, but it's there. The goal here, again, I buy 6 weeks worth of what was on sale this week. I buy 6 weeks worth of what is on sale next week. And after a few weeks, you own Publix. You have the whole store. I don't need to buy anything that is not on sale because my pantry is completely stocked with the things that I regularly purchase. Now, before you panic there, I do want you to realize most of us cook from about the same, probably 10 meals. So do yourself a favor, sit down, make a list of what are the things that I regularly cook. What kinds of things do I want to try to have in stock? That just doesn't mean we have to start from scratch either. You're going to notice as you walk around the grocery store and you spot that buy one, get one sale, you're like, oh, we do like that product. Turns out we buy that at least twice a month. Okay, well, it's not going to be back on sale for a month and a half, so let's grab 3 of those. You get the idea. So 6 weeks is not a massive amount of most products. It usually is 2 or 3 to get you through until the next sale. So as I say, buy 6 weeks worth. I'm not saying like an entire grocery buggy of one product. It's just enough of that item for the number of times that you're going to eat that particular meal, which is generally maybe 3 times if you're switching up your meals every 10 days or so. Okay, so that is literally the bare bones basics here. And guys, I haven't really talked about coupons in that. It is just buying it on sale and buying enough of it to last you until it is back on sale. And if we're doing those 2 things together, then we're not really needing to grab the BOGOs at Publix and then head to Walmart for the other things, because really I've got everything that was on sale last week still in my pantry. So I'm not in this, I'm completely out of this, and this mode. I'm just grabbing what is on sale this week so that I can stay stocked on those items and be set to last me another 6 weeks till they roll back on sale. So every week we're just kind of restocking on what was on sale about 6 weeks ago, if that makes sense. So that's the gist. There are coupons that we're going to throw in there, but I really encourage you to just try your hand at actually shopping sales. So it's a challenge for 2026. I encourage you, step out of your comfort zone, step out of your automatic Instacart delivery or just going to Walmart and grabbing things that you need, and actually sit down and say, okay, let's look at the list that's on Southern Savers. Let's see what we can use that is on that list. Let's add it to a shopping list. Guys, it is super simple, right? That's the goal. I can sit here and say, is this something that I would use? Click the button, add it to your shopping list so that when you're in the store, you are stocking up on those items. You're gonna at least grab one or two to get you through until hopefully it's back on sale. It doesn't mean you're gonna eat all these things. I can't tell you the last time I had falafel in my life. Really glad it's buy one, get one. It's gonna make somebody happy. I'm not gonna add that to my list. I am gonna add some bacon to my list and boneless skinless chicken breasts or chicken nuggets. You get the idea. What I'm really gonna add to my list is on next week's ad. We have Chobani yogurt, the big containers of Chobani yogurt. My kids are so excited whenever that pops in on buy one, get one deals. But you're just gonna keep going down the list. Whatever you will use, add it to the list, get enough of that item. Next week, we're gonna do the same thing. So I encourage you, set yourself a goal. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna use the list that is on Southern Savers. I'm gonna pull up my weekly ad, whatever I wanna do. I'm gonna try to truly just shop what is on sale for the next 6 weeks. Now, if you're just getting started, that first week is gonna feel a little hard because that first week you've never done this before and you actually do have things that you need. So you're like, I told her I would shop the sales, what do I do? I get it. Your very first week, you've not got any kind of stock in your pantry to work from. So this week, what I want you to do, shop the sales, buy 6 weeks worth of what is on sale. Maybe try to plan your menus based on what is on sale as well. So look at that weekly ad. What can we cook from the meats that are on sale or the produce items that are buy one, get one? How can we make our meals from the sale items so that we're not needing a lot of things that are on sale? We're gonna still stock up so that next week we're getting new items. And if there are things we still have to have, we can't make do, then let's look at maybe a different store in town, or let's head to Aldi and Walmart for those regular priced items. The regular priced items are cheaper than not on sale in a grocery store. I will not argue with you on that. A regular priced item in Walmart and Aldi will always beat a regular priced item in Publix or Kroger. It will not beat a sale price. So that's what we're trying to shop. So that's where I want you to go. Week 1, you're gonna follow those sales, but you are gonna have some things you have to have. Stretch where you can, but go ahead and head to Walmart or Aldi for the things that you can't. Next week, we're gonna shop those sales again. We may still need a couple of things, but come 3 or 4 weeks out, we're not gonna need that second store anymore. So come 3 or 4 weeks out, we're good to just follow the sale ad for the store that you've decided to pick in your area. You can just grab those sale items, you can stay stocked on those sale items and really not need that secondary store at all. That's our goal. So hopefully that helps. If you are brand new around here, I know I just showed you Publix on Southern Savers, but I will say we actually cover about 17 stores in the Southeast. So Harris Teeter, Kroger, Publix, Food Lion, Food City, there's a lot of options here. So head over here, click on grocery stores, you'll see all of your options. But we also cover stores that are around the nation. So Dollar General, Target, Walmart. I do make a list for Walmart, CVS, and Walgreens. So you've got a lot to go from on other stores as well, with a weekly list of all of those deals and any coupons that we know of that go with them. So that's a great place to get started. Now, I just kind of kept going there, so I want to jump back in over to the comments and hi to everyone. I know sometimes I just get out of the gate and I have to get all my little talking points out of the way. So Crafty Granny says, how do I find out what next week's sales will be and find out if it has a coupon? You want to know before you plan a list. So hopefully I kind of just answered that a little bit. For example, if you're wanting to know, I can tell you on Saturdays before the Wednesday start. So that's a pretty big heads up. So that's your Publix ad that's going to start this coming Wednesday. It was up on Saturday afternoon. And that's your easiest one. Any coupons that are available then will be matched in. I do try to come back in the middle of the week and add any other coupons once the ad starts, because Publix does put out a new batch of digital coupons in the middle of the week. For other stores, we usually try to get them up as early as we can. There are some stores that really tie my hands on that. Lowe's Foods, for some reason, their corporate office decided that their ad needed to be under lock and key, so I can no longer give you a preview of Lowe's Foods, which is, who cares? We only go there for clearance anyway. But they think that they are totally cool, so we're going to let them. CVS and Walgreens, for example, I usually have the Walgreens ad up on Wednesdays. For the next week, CVS, we don't get their ad until Thursday, but you've still got a little bit of heads up on those stores as well. And that new ad will always just pop in here right next to the main ad on those pages. So again, all I did was come to drugstores and picked Walgreens or CVS. You'll always have that second ad ready for you as soon as we can get it. So Kroger, a lot of times I have someone who helps me here. She gets it up in the middle of the night on Monday nights. So you can look for Kroger first thing Tuesday morning. She works at hours that I am never mostly alive for. So it's a middle of the night store on that one for Kroger, but Tuesday early mornings, you're going to find that Kroger preview all done and ready for you. Most other stores, though, about a day before the ad goes up. Publix, CVS, and Walgreens are the ones that are the earliest. Okay, and Kroger, Dana's saying Kroger started doing some buy one, get one in her store. Yes, and Kroger, that's not their main promotional model, but they do run some buy one, get ones. Their big promotional model for anyone that loves a Kroger, if that's your store nearby, is they love these 3-day sales. So watching your 3-day weekend sales, if you can head in and grab those items, they're usually, every single one of them is a crazy price, like bacon for $3.99. I'm up for a trip to Kroger on the weekend. But the other big one are Kroger loves their digital deals. So these change every single week, and they all are a limit of 5, which is pretty awesome for our trying to buy enough to stock up. Still running on a 6-week sales cycle. Grocery stores don't have any unique play. They all play the same game. It is a 6-week sales cycle. So if I'm heading in, I'm going to try to get enough to last me. I'm not going to see Kroger eggs on that weekly digital deal again for about 6 weeks. I'm not going to see Freschetta pizza, for example. I'm going to see DiGiorno. I'm going to see other brands. So think about it that way. Your 6-week sales cycle is really your rotation through brands. If I don't have that many brands, there's a chance it could pop back in early if it's a big brand. But for most of us, I kind of using Freschetta here as an example on this one. This week it's a Freschetta deal, but next week we've got DiGiorno, we've got Red Baron, we've got Tombstone, we've got Kroger House Brand. We're already out to 4. Home Run, there's so many. They're all gonna take their mark. This is really the brands paying for placement in the ad. This isn't Kroger paying for placement. This is the brands. Sales are not really even paid for by the stores at all. So when we shop the stores, when we play the game, the store is actually kind of cheering you on because they get reimbursed from the brands. So shop the sales, make the stores happy. These are not loss leaders for them. Name brand deals are fully paid for by the brands. So that's what that rotation is it's letting all the brands have their moment, their little claim to fame. So this week, for example, is Freschetta's week, but it does mean that when I load that Kroger digital offer, I'm going to get that $3.99 price on up to 5 of those Freschetta pizzas. That's a lot of pizza. I mean, you legitimately could eat pizza every week for the next 5 weeks, right? You're set on almost stocking up for 6 weeks. There are also Ibotta offers that can be thrown in on that one, so it becomes an even better deal. But you get the idea. There's a lot of these digital offers. That is their number one. Their secondary promotional model is mega events. So buy one, get ones, it's been great to see. It is a good number that we're seeing. But those mega events are really where Kroger's claim to fame is. Some of them are good. Some of them are, And you'll learn them quickly. So what these are with Kroger is we'll get a bunch of items around the store. When you buy 5 or more of them, maybe you get $5 off instantly. That one's a great one. You're saving $1 off of every item. Plus they put them on sale a little bit. You're getting that automatic savings, and hopefully you've even got some coupons to pair in. The ones that are a little ho-hum are the ones where I've even seen them where you have to buy 10 and you get 50 cents off of each item. Like, I don't know now, Kroger. That's getting a little far on the amount of savings that we're getting. I'd prefer the whole $1 off and only having to buy 5. That sounded like a better deal. With those Kroger mega events, just a little tip for anyone that Kroger is your store. Years ago, you had to actually keep count. You had to make sure that you bought everything in multiples of whatever that mega event was. So if it was a buy 5 or a buy 10, you better sit there and count out 5 items or 10 items. They do not run them that way anymore. Once you buy 5, you're fine. You could buy 7 and you would be just fine. You're gonna get that instant $1 off or whatever the promotion was. You get the idea. I don't have to keep count. I don't have to buy multiples of 5 anymore. So glad Kroger changed that. And they changed that about 5 or 6 years ago now. It's been a bit. But if you've stepped back from the couponing and following sale world, I don't want you off in Kroger trying to count your whole buggy either. It's a very nice thing that they've done for us. They've taken a little anxiety off your shoulders. Just buy whatever the promotional model says to buy. So if it's buy 10, buy 5, buy that number, and then above that, you're good to go. You're going to have that instant savings without having to continue to count. Oh, I love it, Wendy. So Wendy says her son knew exactly what she wanted for Christmas and gave her a Publix gift card. I cannot wait for such thoughtful gifts. That would have made my heart very happy. Like he even knew exactly where you'd go, which is, yeah. He was telling you. I see you, Mom. Oh, great question, Crafty Granny. Which is the best day to shop at Publix? So it depends. If you're over the age of 55 and you don't live in Florida, Florida doesn't have a senior day, but everyone else has a senior day. So if you're over the age of 55, your best day is Wednesday, which is senior day. If you're not over the age of 55, I may stay home on Wednesday. It gets kind of busy. It's the first day of the ad and it's senior day. So everyone else, there's honestly not a best day necessarily. You're good any day of the week. Do know that the super great deals, maybe there's some really high value digital coupon and a buy one, get one sale. If it's going to make something free, there's a very high potential that it could be sold out. But if that's the case, you could always get a rain check and just hold on to that rain check. It's going to be good for another month. It's going to let you get that sale a little longer. So that's one option. Option B, if I can't make it in on the first day of the ad on those really great deals, is to find out when your store gets their midweek truck. Most stores in my area, that's on Mondays. So heading in to your store on Monday afternoon, they will have completely restocked on anything that they were sold out of. More than likely, it came in on their midweek truck, another batch of those items. So it's almost like shopping on the first day of the ad. I don't know that there's any other magical day. Publix does not mark down meat or produce. That would really be what would make me decide to have a particular day to shop in one grocery store or another. Publix does not clearance out meat or produce though, so not an element to deciding when to shop in that store. However, for Kroger, for Lowe's Foods, for Food Lion, I hands down would recommend that you head into your store and you ask the guys in the meat department, folks in the produce department, when do you mark down meat? Is there a particular day that you tend to have more meat markdowns than other days? Odds are you're going to find it's the last day of the sale ad, but it can vary in your store. So find out when that day is and be there that day. That is your magical day for saving a ton of money. I was just talking with someone tonight. I love Lowe's Foods, not necessarily for their weekly ad. They do run some decent deals, but I am regularly in Lowe's Foods for the clearance deals. All the folks who don't shop Lowe's Foods, thank you. Thank you for not going there. Because of you and you not buying the sales, I can buy the clearance deals. That's really what I want. And Lowe's Foods is amazing for clearance, markdown produce, and meat. And so finding that routine, many times the first day of the ad in my stores, they've marked down what didn't sell last week. So I'm happy. I'll be a week behind you with 50% off or 75% off sometimes. So that's my big one for picking a day, not necessarily based on the ad, but based on the clearance things that I can find. And every store is different. So you do need to ask your produce and your meat departments what their normal routine is. Sometimes it's just one person. It's not everyone in the department that has that ability to mark down meat and produce. So it's finding out, okay, well, when does that person normally work? Because they're my magical person. Get to know them. Give them a Christmas card. They could be a very good friend to have in your back pocket. Sheila, great question. So Kroger owns 28 different stores. There's a lot of them. And you will notice that the ads are very similar for a number of their brands. So yes, I don't know if Kroger and Fry's are. I have to kind of do a Google, what stores does Kroger own? And get the full list here. Fred Meyer's, Fry's, Ralph's, Smith's, Dillon's, QFC, Harris Teeter, Food for Less. It's a very long list, but yes, you are good. Kroger does own Fry's. And you will notice when we've got a Kroger mega event, for example, the list that is on Southern Savers for that mega event, or even sometimes these weekly digital deals, you'll notice some huge similarities to your ad as well. So a number of those Kroger subsidiary stores basically run a mirror ad of each other. The differences will be meat and produce. And we see that even across the same store. So Kroger, for example, nationwide grocery store, the meat and produce deals that are running in Georgia this week are not the same meat and produce deals that are running in Colorado. They're getting them from different sources. So they can't run the same sales, much less the same prices. But as long as you ignore those meat and produce deals, so for example, if you're using the list on Southern Savers, but you lived in Colorado, ignore the meat and produce. It's not your meat and produce in Colorado. It's from the Southeast. We're Southern Savers. But every other deal is going to be almost identical to what you would find in your store. Same digital coupons, same sales. And that's the same for most of those Kroger subsidiaries, except Harris Teeter. So we do cover Harris Teeter on Southern Savers as well because it is in the South. But so Harris Teeter, when they were purchased by Kroger, Kroger did allow them to keep entirely their own ad. So Harris Teeter still has their buy two, get threes. They have their buy two, get twos, things that you're just rarely never going to see in Kroger. And Harris Teeter has always been known for massive numbers of buy one, get one deals. And that is still the case. So that's this week's Harris Teeter ad, for example. There's a lot of buy one, get ones and buy two, three, get threes. You're not going to see that in that Kroger ad. They're one of the few Kroger subsidiaries, though, that is allowed to keep their own ads and sales cycles. So just, before you get Kroger in the back of your mind, Harris Teeter doesn't really want to be owned by them. I think it was just the owners wanted to retire. Okay. Oh, and Tin Man Lover says, whatever you do the first of the month, avoid Walmart at all cost. Everyone gets paid then. Yes, I would agree with you on that. So your Walmart shoppers do tend to be your once a month payroll folks, and I would avoid the first of the month. That is also a tip to just put in the back of your mind for all grocery stores, Publix, Kroger, Walmart. We do not see really good ads the last week of the month. Sometimes you're going to pull it up and you're like, wow, there are some buy one, get ones here, but there's not really anything that I'm super excited about. Sometimes you'll even feel like, wow, there's not even a lot of digital coupons that go with this. That's because they know most households that last week of the month are done. They don't have any more money to give. So no manufacturers really want to be in that ad. And remember, who's paying for that buy one, get one deal? It's the brands. So if the brands don't want to pick that week, Publix can't really make them. Kroger can't make them either. So those last weeks of the month, it's kind of pitiful. And it is a good week for you to maybe say, okay, once a month, we're going to just eat from the pantry. We're going to try to shop the sales every other week of the month. Maybe we hit a few little tiny things that week for Publix or Kroger or whatever you pick. But that last week of the month is a great finish it off. Make sure we're not carrying over, eat out of the fridge, all those things that you could be doing, because you're not going to have those really huge sales to go. They know most people don't have a lot of extra money left over until the first of the month when they get paid. Then that first of the month ad is slammed with deals. You'll notice this new Publix ad that's starting on Wednesday. That's what it is. They're considering this Wednesday or this new ad as basically a first of the month, even though it's really the second ad of the month. But we're getting a ton of BOGOs. I expect also a ton of unadvertised BOGOs to go with it, as they're pushing for you to be like, okay, we're out of holiday mode. Let's go buy groceries and actually cook again and stop eating leftovers. I don't know. Anybody else still in leftover mode? Because I'm still in my, do I really have to keep cooking? We all have our moments. I will get back out of the holiday mode here soon. But we totally had Hamburger Helper tonight, just keeping it real. And Hamburger Helper, it's pretty delicious. So thanks, Betty Crocker. We're not going to talk about how healthy it is, but it's crazy simple when mama doesn't want to cook. And it goes buy one, get one too. You can still shop the sales. So we've hit a lot of the basics and the gist of how this is going to work. Let's throw in some of the actual extra discounts with it. All of our stores do have digital coupons. That is really where most of the savings is. Paper coupons you can get them if you want, but not a lot of areas even have inserts anymore. I was sending some emails back and forth with someone on Sunday about they don't get them in their area. They can't find them online anymore. A number of the places that used to sell whole coupon inserts have kind of closed up shop because it's just not a regular thing in a lot of areas anymore. But digital coupons is. So with digital coupons, if you're not regularly using them, you're going to come straight to your store's page. You're going to go to savings and you're going to find all of their current digital coupon offers. With these, on the store level, when I load them to my account, they are mine until they expire. They're just going to live in my account until I remember to use them or they expire. So as I click over here, it appears I've got 5 that I had loaded and I've still not used, and I guess I need to wait for a sale if I can, or some of them it looks like gonna expire here soon. But that's okay. If I don't use them, I'm not really worried about it. It means that I didn't match them in with a sale, and I don't want to buy it till it's on sale. I don't want to buy it just because I have a coupon, right? I want to buy it because it's 50% off and I have a coupon. But I can go through here and I can load anything that I want, and it will be saved to my card for the next time that I do end up grabbing something. I don't have to remember that I have it. Sometimes it can just be exciting and come off. So for example, Go-Gurt is buy one get one right now in Publix. Well, there's a $1.50 off 2 coupon. So grab 2 Go-Gurts. In my store, the 8-count Go-Gurts are usually about $3.50, which would make them $1.75 before the coupon. But you're going to save another 75 cents off of each one of them, making these Go-Gurts $1 a piece after the coupon and the sale. So kind of exciting when you get to see it map in with a sale and a coupon. Doesn't mean it happens a ton, but it does. So look at this. Activia also on sale this week, and you've got a digital coupon. So load that. Obviously, I'm showing you I have not been to Publix this week. Instead, I went to visit my in-laws who have an IGA, and that's just a very sad place to be. But load all your coupons. They're set. That's not going to expire until February 15th. I actually would probably have one whole more sale that I could use that on. Don't have to rush out if I don't want to before the sale ends. It'll be just fine. Dave's Killer Bread. This is a great one. This is going to be buy one, get one next week. So I can load that and I have it set for next week's sale as well. So you can kind of keep going through. I can load any of these that I want, the same on any of our other grocery sites. So these are saved to my account for whenever I end up wanting to buy it. If I don't end up buying it, not a big deal. I am technically keeping someone else from loading that. So there is a limit on these of how many total they plan to give out. It's a pretty high number. But let's say every single one of us went on Publix's site and we all loaded that $2 Dawn Power Wash coupon. After a bit, it would actually go away and no one else would be able to load it because it had met its limit. It doesn't mean it's a limit on redemptions, it's a limit on loadings. So once it's loaded though, it's mine and they can't take it from me until it expires. So if you want to, you can happily go through and load anything that brings your heart joy, and then wait and hope that you can get a great deal on those items. So I'm just sitting here chatting with you, loading any coupons. It's about that simple. Now, let's say you don't really want to think about it. You just want to deal with it in the store. You can do that too in the store. So you can use your Publix mobile app and do the same thing in the store. So let me pull up my phone here for you. And what I would recommend, I keep all of my stores in their own little bucket here. So every grocery store, every store around town, it just makes it easy to find their mobile apps. And most of our grocery store mobile apps now have, oh, don't do this to me, Publix. I have so many apps that log me out. It's like a beginning of the year. And the odds of me remembering my login are really, really slim. So let me show you CVS, who probably also is going to want to look at my face. And it's not going to work. But this is really what I want to show you is right there. That search bar has, in this little corner where my cursor is moving, it has a barcode. And all you need to do is click on that barcode scanner. And once you click on it, it will automatically show you any coupons that are available for that product. So do that. It's very, very simple in the store. This is the CVS app. But again, every single one of these stores have barcode scanners in their apps. So no, I don't have to sit here at home before I go to Publix loading digital coupons. It only takes a second, but I really could assign this to somebody that's in the store with me or just do it myself really fast. Everything that goes in the cart, scanning the back of it, scanning that barcode, making sure I'm not missing a store digital coupon. And while you're at it, scanning the back of the product as well for any other mobile offers that might be there. So I highly recommend Ibotta. It's probably the one that most people use or find the most offers. You'll find a ton of offers that are by particular store. So here's our Activia. It's the same one that Walmart Cash had an offer on. Another tip there, if you ever are, let me just pop over and show that to you again. If you ever are online or in the Walmart app and you're like, hey, there's a Walmart Cash offer, there's probably an Ibotta offer for that because Ibotta runs the Walmart Cash system. So if I was thinking of using it at another store like Publix, I actually would be able to do that. So this Activia, I can grab this Activia. I can grab up to 5 of them. That's what this little gray box right there says. All I need to do is load it. And then when I buy this in Publix, I am going to take a picture of my receipt, submit my receipt to Ibotta, and I'm going to get 40 cents back for every single one of those that I bought in the store. Now remember, I've got a digital coupon for this. I have an Ibotta offer for this, and it's buy one, get one. So in the end, we're going to be down to paying like 75 cents a piece for each of these. That, just to go back here, best price was $2.50. So that's where this is starting to get fun, guys. It's starting to see, hey, I got it already cheaper because of the sale. And then I started stacking in the coupons. And that's why we play the game, right? And all of a sudden, you're going to come home and you're going to have to tell people, like, as they eat their yogurt, you'd be like, hey, that yogurt right there, I paid 75 cents for that. Like everyone needs to just stop and admire my work, right? But that's okay. We should all have a little bit of awe moment when I can get the things that you love, but I got them for next to nothing on the cost. So that's the fun part of the mobile apps, of the digital offers. I didn't have to buy the Sunday paper. I can just scan barcodes. Even Ibotta, if I click the search button, even Ibotta down here in the search bar, I still get that little box. I would love to zoom in on it, but when I screen share my phone, it doesn't let me. Just know that what I'm circling right there is a barcode scanner. If we click on that, it'll kind of break right now because we're really looking at a fake version of my phone. But you're just going to pull that up. You're going to scan that Activia yogurt. It's going to recognize it, and you can immediately load that offer. So very simple to be able to get. Look what's right below it. We got Go-Gurt too, guys. This is definitely a cheap yogurt kind of week in Publix. Thomas English muffins are also buy one, get one right now. So load that one. There's quite a bit there. you should kind of go to town and have some fun, right? So that's the gist. I know I keep telling you Publix sales, but guys, these line up with pretty much every store in your area. So find the store that you regularly shop at. Go through that store, like click through the store first to find the offers, because there are a number of offers in here that are honestly only good at Walmart. And it's going to drive you crazy because you're going to be ready to use that deal and then realize, oh, I can't. It is a only Walmart deal. So that is my biggest tip for Ibotta, is making sure that you're actually looking at the store that you plan to be at, and then looking for the coupons so that you're not frustrating yourself. Some of these you will never need to submit a receipt for. So for example, CVS, you can actually link your card. Lowe's Foods, you can link your card. And then when I shop, CVS just tells Ibotta what I bought. I don't have to do any work. As long as I've come in and I've loaded the offer for what I have purchased, as long as it's loaded, that little plus mark has turned into a check, whatever these might be. If I went in and I bought that, then CVS is going to tell Ibotta that I bought that lightly sprinkled drink, and I am going to get that $1 back for having purchased that particular item. So super simple in those stores where the card is automatically linked. A few stores left, though, that you will have to upload pictures, like Publix. So just be ready for that one. Jeannie, great question. When do coupons reset, or do they get added at Publix? So we see most of our grocery stores add in a batch of new coupons every time a new ad starts. So Publix starts a new ad on Wednesdays in most areas. So I see a new batch of digital coupons all get loaded on Wednesdays, sometimes Thursday mornings if they're running late. Same for Kroger, Food Lion, all our grocery stores. We kind of see those come in on that ad start date. We do still see some new coupons load in on Sunday mornings as well, kind of following what would have been the insert schedule. They're just so used to that Sunday morning start that some brands just can't really bring themselves to get out of that routine. So P&G is one of those, and Unilever. They are just, you know what, we've done it this way. Why change now? So P&G and Unilever in particular do not follow ad starts, but follow weekend starts, and we'll see new batches of those coupons on Sunday mornings. So there's not one particular day, but two probably for your store that you want to keep an eye on. So first day of the ad and that Sunday morning, just checking for new offers. For our drugstores, for example, which Walgreens and CVS, their ads start on Sunday. That all comes together. So we only really see new offers in the drugstores on Sundays. Super simple for them if you're trying to keep tabs of what is new. Have I loaded all of these? And Anna, super sweet of you to ask, did everything go great for the wedding? It did. It was a very beautiful wedding. We had a lot of fun. It was very exhausting because we did everything ourselves, but I feel like I'm still of an age that I can totally do that. Now, when my youngest gets married in like 15 or 20 years, I don't know, it's hopefully a very long time from now because she's 10. I don't know that I'm going to do it all myself at that point, but it went really well, and it was a very beautiful Friday afternoon wedding. So, you know, we tried to pull out all the stops on saving money. They picked the day. I didn't force them to a Friday, but it is definitely a big tip for saving some money. But it was a beautiful day. So Elizabeth asks, Lowe's Foods, I asked a worker in the meat department a long time ago if they marked down meat, and the worker said no. Yeah, they lied. Lowe's Foods does a ton of meat markdown. That is crazy fun if you can find it. You can even ask them to rethink their markdown. So I've seen them mark down meat, and then that meat will be buy one, get one this week. And you're like, wait a second, this markdown meat is actually higher than the not marked down meat. Can you fix this? They will fix it, and they will lower it. So you can even, in a sense, it's kind of like a haggling situation, but it's more like, hey, anyone paying attention here? So if you don't think the deal is that great, tell them and give them a chance to make it better. But they do some crazy deals. I have totally called friends and been like, hey, I am looking at over 40 pounds of chicken thighs and chicken legs, and they are less than $1 a pound. I don't even eat that much we eat a lot of chicken breast, but I gladly bought tray after tray for other people and delivered them, clearance chicken just because I was there in the moment. So that is my favorite place to be for clearance deals. And I'm sorry that they lied to you, but now we have told you the truth. Go and have fun, right? Kroger also does some great markdowns, Food Lion as well. And our small grocery stores, so I kind of made fun of my in-laws and their sad little IGA. But if even that's all you have, the tinier the grocery store, sometimes the better the meat and the produce prices. It's all they've really got to play with. So heading in and looking for their clearance meat and produce deals can be really, really fun in your small grocery stores. Though I will say, I was really impressed with one thing that this IGA did. I don't know if any of y'all have been in an IGA recently, but this particular store, I didn't have a card. I mean, the last time that we were down there visiting them was maybe 8 months ago, and I didn't go grocery shopping. But I needed to this week. We had taken our foster puppy, newly adopted foster puppy, with us, and I wasn't going to try puppy and groceries in the car. That just sounded like a really bad idea. So I had to buy a lot of groceries when we got down there. This IGA actually had right next to the register a little keypad for you to sign up to get the coupons. And then it even showed you right there, here are all the coupons that would have applied to your order. Like, this is actually pretty magical. Grocery stores don't even tell you this information, or regular grocery stores don't. So go little IGA in tiny little Midway, Georgia, for putting that together so that folks can not only sign up immediately, but also telling them everything they would have saved. I was very impressed. So no negativity there on tiny little stores. They don't have the big brand promotions to run with. They don't have the BOGO deals, but they're definitely trying to help you out a lot. And Wendy's chiming in for anyone else that has an Ingles that in her area, Ingles marks down on Sundays. So hopefully you'll find that the same schedule in your area too, but it's always good to know what other stores are doing. Publix is honestly the only grocery store that does not mark down meat and produce, and they decided to not do that a very long time ago because they got litigated from a nonprofit that they donated food to. It's kind of a sad moment. So Publix doesn't do any of it anymore. Most of it just gets thrown away, which is very, very sad to see, but it's what they decided to do. So all of this to say, we've hit a lot of things in grocery and ways to save money on groceries. Your biggest ones being following that sale, buying enough for 6 weeks on whatever is on sale this week, getting 1 week of what you have to have, heading to Walmart, heading to Aldi on the things that you can't wait on, but try to wait on those items, right? I don't have to have it necessarily if I can figure out a different thing to eat, something that doesn't call for that. Or can we wait a little bit longer on that item? Possibly you can. Now, one thing that I didn't mention in all of what we've gone through is how the drugstores play into this. So if we're really trying to cut our budget, a huge way to do that is learning to play the drugstore game. It is learning to grab your personal care and your household and cleaning items, your baby items, from CVS and Walgreens. Shopping their deals, getting their rewards, using those rewards to buy more deals, getting more rewards, keeping the fun going. But that becomes a huge element of your budget that basically doesn't exist. I pay you in pretend rewards, and you give me back more pretend money. And we just keep this little cycle going, but none of it actually hits my real budget, right? At no point did I have to give you American currency for these items. You just kept giving me free toothpaste, and I kept giving you back more pretend money. So it's pretty great once you learn how to play that game. We've got 50-cent toothpaste in Walgreens this week. You've got really cheap hair care in both stores. We see cheap razors all the time. There's so much that you can get in Walgreens and CVS that is next to nothing in cost. So I encourage you to pair that in with following grocery sales. If you don't feel like you can tackle both, I get it, learn one new skill at a time. I understand. But I will say, for me, figuring out how to shop the drugstores is actually where I got hooked. It wasn't the grocery stores. It was walking into CVS and leaving with bags of items and just standing in the parking lot and realizing I just paid 50 cents for 4 bags of things. It's all free. The whole store is free. And having this like aha moment as it clicked that, wait a second, they can just run completely on a different form of currency. And it can. So if you're willing to learn it, it's a very fun game. We do map out all of those deals as well for you on Southern Savers. So you'll see all the deals running at CVS and Walgreens. Those deals we tend to see, CVS runs a 2-week ad. Walgreens runs a weekly ad, but most of the Walgreens deals actually run for the whole month. So in reality, I don't need to shop a drugstore every single week. I can actually get by with shopping a drugstore like every other week. So maybe just twice a month, we're running in, we're grabbing some deals. And really, once you start to shop the drugstore deals, you get kind of stocked. I have at least 15 tubes of toothpaste in my bathroom. Now, I also have 7 people in my house, 7.5. How do son-in-laws count in there? I don't know, but I have a feeling I'm still buying his toothpaste for a while. My daughter is still figuring it out. I can't bring it's free. I'll just give you toothpaste. It's okay. So I have a number of people that I'm buying toothpaste for. Don't judge me on 15 tubes of toothpaste, but it is all free. So as you start to learn it, you're going to get pretty stocked. You're not going to have to go back right away, right? Just because you have it and it's free doesn't mean you brush your teeth more frequently. So you'll get stocked. You can take some time off. Your rewards are usually good for about a month. So then you can head back in and get more deals. So don't feel like adding in the drugstore is going to add in this whole weekly element to your routine. It really may be just a couple times a month. You stay stocked, you keep your rewards going, and you've drastically impacted your budget in another way by no longer even paying for those items that were regularly something that you were grabbing. So I encourage you to pair those two together. We will hit how to shop drugstores again and go through them in detail here in a few more weeks. But it's good to hit the basics tonight as we try to kind of cover it all and go through things. I will cover the drugstores tomorrow. That is my goal. I'm a little behind this week and just getting back into things from the holidays. So if I don't come live tomorrow, don't judge me, but I'm trying. So those lists are up though, CVS and Walgreens. I have some new coupons to add into both, but you're good to shop them. The current CVS deals that are up on Southern Savers are good through this weekend. This is the end of week 2 for that CVS ad. It started right before New Year's and has run for 2 weeks. For Walgreens, we do have a few this week only deals, but most of them are just month-long deals as well. So if I don't do a drugstore video tomorrow, I will be on here soon. We'll get back into the routine. We've just had a lot going on. So we've hit a lot tonight in the basics. We're going to try to hit more budget and savings in the next few weeks as well on these Q&As. But if there's ever a topic that you want me to cover, if there's something that you're like, hey, I could really use to know this, or I've struggled with this section of our budget, or how do we save on something, I am happy to go through anything. So feel free to send me an email or even just chat away on what those particular topics might be for you. Always looking for places we can go in our weekly Q&As, and the beginning of the year is a great time to make a list of those. So feel free to share whatever you might have on your heart that you want to figure out how to save on. So as we dive in to the year, I'm happy to be here for you as you are trying to save more. Oh, and PJ Jones, how do I season my hamburger helper? So literally the box. I don't change this up. It's whatever Betty Crocker seasons their hamburger helper with. Though tonight I threw a curveball at my crew. My husband was cooking dinner along with one college kid who is still home until classes start back next week, and told them to make hamburger helper, but didn't leave them with any milk. So they had to really make do. And I don't know how they pulled it off, but I heard cream of mushroom soup was involved, which is the way that you would make normal beef stroganoff, right? So you need some egg noodles, some cream of mushroom soup, maybe some fresh mushrooms and some hamburger, and you're most of the way there. But Betty Crocker hamburger helper, as a kid of the 80s, I grew up on it, and I have one kid who legitimately asks for Betty Crocker Hamburger Helper. Whenever I make homemade beef stroganoff, she's disappointed. So, okay, I gave her what she wanted tonight. She got the box stuff, and we got an easy dinner that technically Dad pulled off. But we don't do anything fancy there. We just use what the box tells us. And we don't eat it every night either, guys. But it's good to have some things in your back pocket, right? Sydney, that's a great one. I've got another kid that is a senior in high school, so happy to do things, all things college, as well as we are, got all those acceptance letters. Now it's time to sit down and actually look at the money to figure out which one is the right decision in the end. That is a great topic. So I will definitely add that to the list, and we'll try to go there here in a few weeks. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night. Thanks for joining me. Happy New Year. I'm glad to be back, and we'll get back into a routine. I will possibly, I want to say yes or no, but I can't know. I will possibly not be on for a Q&A next week. I'm planning to be on, but we are going to visit the newly married couple and take them all the wedding gifts that are currently filling my living room. I'm very excited about delivering all these things. And I'm not really sure if the tiny little Airbnb tiny house that I have rented near their tiny house has any internet. So gonna find that out when I get there. If I've got internet though, I will be on for a Q&A next Monday night. If I don't have internet though, we'll be taking a week off. Sorry, guys. But my plan is to be here next Monday night, and we'll keep going with kind of getting back to the basics, getting our budgets in order. And if not, we'll be back on the Monday after that. This is just life. It was the only time that we could figure out how to get all those wedding gifts up there before it was like February, right? So trying to get back into normal life, and those gifts have to go. So thanks for joining me tonight. I will talk to you again soon.